I ever had to take anyone's life?
I take a lot of lives. I shoot my auntie also. She was my enemy.
You're gonna kill 2 people tonight?
Yeah. He's a killer.
I can't handle this shooting. I can't handle it.
But I was step also 2 inches away from my heart.
I can shoot you now, I drink you.
And when was the last time you had to take someone's life?
3 days ago. 21 shots through his face.
21 shots.
21 shots through his face.
Dirty Black American here this morning. Dirty Black American. I'm gonna keep this series up. We're labeled as Dirty Black Americans, so we got to keep this going. See, there's power in words, right? There's power in words, there's power in labels, there's power in images, there's power in symbols. People will tell you that's not the case. But once we hold the bullwhip, that's problematic, as it always is. I want to put an analogy forward to all the freedmen and all our solid non-freedmen this morning on what you see going on these days. The last video I did, I talked about the everlasting problem that we've had from the tether class. And we wouldn't be talking about it if it was never ever a problem. We just never really talked about it as we should, and we should have nipped that stuff right in the bud back in the early 80s and the 90s, right when we saw it. We should have separated from you niggas, because y'all always been separate from us. That's why y'all are whining. Y'all are in a situation right now, very unfortunately, because you sided with the race soldier, and you have all these things like TPS threatening you. You got ICE running down on you. They hitting us with the collateral damage from time to time. That's gonna happen. That's what YT supremacy does. But I want to use an analogy called country rap tunes.
Hip hop, cause I ain't never made none of that shit. Them niggas been saying we wasn't real hip hop from the beginning of time. Yeah.
Back in the day, they told the freedmen that used different instruments. A man that was classically trained with organs. They told Willie D that he was too country. I believe they said it was Run DMC that might have said something. It was somebody from New York. I don't know who it was.
To go down south, you need to shut your mouth.
Yeah. Well, we was jamming the hell out of that song like a fool. We didn't even know we was being disrespected. Saying like, you need to get the hell out of here. You know, like going down south is something to be frowned upon or something.
But they told the Ghetto Boys or Willie D, they made disparaging comments about Southern freedmen in the rap game. And they were saying, well, UGK, you're not hip hop. Which we all know the story of Bun B that said, I just wanted to be respected amongst the MCs. He wanted to be like Cool G Rap. Sweet James Jones wanted to be like Big Daddy Kane. So after a while, after the disrespect and the things that they were saying about them, you ain't African. Remember, we used to get a lot of that. Does that sound familiar, family? Tell me in the comments, does that sound familiar? Have y'all ever been told, Foundational Blacks, y'all ever been told that? So-called African American, so-called freedmen. Have y'all ever been told that back in the day? Well, you know, you ain't African enough. You're not African. Okay. So UGK said, well, Sweet James Jones said, let's move the CDs to the side of the stove and see what sells. And they
want to be down to bitch ass niggas no more, know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we got our own shit down here. A long time ago, we had our own music. The street military was putting it down. You know what I'm talking about? And when Willie D and them was coming out and talking,
been selling every damn since. New York can't do shit about it. LA and the South has had the game in a chokehold ever since the South got it. I don't think y'all understand how powerful that is. Now, New York, of course we got freedmen out there, but you got a huge immigrant population, and it makes you kind of wonder who used to make those comments. Who was making those disparaging comments about the South? Well, they can't rap, this, that, and the third. What they're not talking about Southern rappers, they're talking about Southern freedmen. So it kind of makes you wonder where those comments were coming. It really does. Now that I put it in perspective and it makes sense, I said, was this attack on Pimp C or was this attack on folks with Southern heritage? Because remember, they used to say, folks behind the Mason-Dixon line. DP, well, you're not a Southerner. Why would you say that? All of my forefathers are. I can't, see, I'm not removed when I go to my grandma's house and hear a Southern accent. When you get around folks long enough, you're going to pick certain things up. You're going to say certain things a certain way. You see what I'm saying? You're going to have, there's going to be certain verbs, certain nouns, the way, a certain cadence, a certain spirit. And let's get into the culture of resistance. We've been getting this garbage online talking about 1804. Y'all are one-hit wonders. Y'all are Ice Ice Baby. No pun intended. No pun intended. Y'all are a TPS one-hit wonder. For you to say, well, if we didn't have this free black country, you did it one time. Louis Vuitton and Dessalines gave y'all their all and y'all turned their backs on them. Let's fast forward over to the United States. Before 1804, there were several slave results. I've already said that. We ain't got to go into that already. Y'all could come up with something else. That ain't gonna work. We getting back-to-back hits. You getting Jay-Z Blueprint. You getting Reasonable Doubt. You get It Was Written. You get Illmatic. You get Stillmatic. You had Ice Ice Baby. See, what I'm starting to see, the hate and the jealousy comes from the fact that we got these wins. That's what I'm starting to see. We have all of these wins back-to-back, wins to where now you got to say, well, it's the government. Okay, the government has colonized us all. We've always had issues with the government colonizing us. But if you notice one thing about Black American Freedmen culture is this. Nationwide, we had Oklahoma. We didn't have no one-hit wonder there. Tulsa wasn't a one-hit wonder. You had Boulder. You had all of these sprawling places and burgeoning places. After our stuff gets burnt down, after the Red Summer, nationwide. Every city and town, nationwide. This wasn't a one-hit wonder. We ain't the one-hit wonder people. Y'all are the one-hit wonder people. And when I say, well, DP, what do you mean by y'all? Y'all separate? No, y'all did that. You went and set up in your enclaves and you sat around and you carved out a department in the store and you told us to stay over there. Y'all are something else. Whatever names y'all had, don't deal with those African Americans. Don't deal with that. Okay, well, you got to keep that same energy. Now, the young generation, they might have kind of been like, damn, my parents is on some BS. Y'all got to get hit with the shrapnel. Just like we got to get hit with the shrapnel. That's part of the game. It's not a war. All it is just getting our house together, as John Henry Clark said. We're getting our house together. We're getting rid of the venomous snakes and the vipers and the sea lampreys and all the stuff at the bottom of the sea. A lot of people like shrimp and lobster, but they're garbage collectors. Whoo! Oh, that one hit deep, didn't it? We got a lot of garbage collectors. We got a lot of shrimp and we got a lot of lobsters and mantis shrimps. And mantis shrimps are very dangerous. They could break your finger if you're around them. We got a lot of them niggas that came around. And see, our ancestors fought so y'all could get over here. Truth be told, when we were going over the places, we were going to Ethiopia, we shut down apartheid. That's another one-hit wonder. We have so many back-to-back wins. We got platinum plaques and golds and diamond plaques around this bitch. And truth be told, When we try to open up them immigration rights and flood y'all in, we let a whole bunch of trash in as well. I'm saying that. I mean that. We let a lot of trash in.
Shit. Black Americans, I bet a lot of y'all don't know this. We were never freed. We literally snatched that shit.
The myth is that Lincoln freed the slaves, but Lincoln says in 1860 and 1861, it is a lie and a slander that we have any intention to abolish slavery in the slave colonies of the South, in the slave states of the South. This is just a lie, he says. So why does it happen? Well, it happens because, as W.E.B. Du Bois puts it in his great book, Black Reconstruction from 1935, the slaves took matters into their own hands. 500,000 of them fled from the South, withdrew their labor from the Confederacy, found their way to Union lines. And Lincoln's generals are going, what do we do with these people? What's our policy? And initially the policy was return them to their masters. But they refused to go back. They came in such numbers that this wasn't viable. And a few of the more radical Republican generals said, I'm not returning them. They were defying Lincoln, but they were defying Lincoln because enslaved people were forcing the issue. And ultimately, 200,000 of these self-emancipated black men find their way into the Union Army and Navy. Women serve as cooks and as spies. We often forget that the great Harriet Tubman, who had led a series of raids to free family members and then to free non-kin fugitives, was the most accomplished spy for the Union Army. Lincoln eventually provided a pass which said, Harriet Tubman can go wherever she wants, because the point is, she could provide intelligence to the Union Army that no one else could provide. So this was a movement of self-emancipation. Enslaved people forced emancipation on the Union, on President Lincoln, through their own militancy, their resistance, and their mass flight from the South.
We got the Candace Owens. We got that lady like the governor out there. We got the Westmores. We got a lot of that. We got a lot of garbage that had a lot of disdain for us. So when things come up that we really need, like laws and reparations, pull up your bootstraps, pull your pants up. We start looking at these folks and say, well, damn, what's up with this dude? And then you look and you see. See, we don't get the Hazel Scotts. You see what I'm saying? We don't really get a lot of the Hazel Scotts anymore. And the ones that we do, we acknowledge them. Now people would say, well, you know, DP, you know, that's really being divisive because, you know, Hazel Scott was Trinidadian and you know, what's the guy's name that was Kwame Ture, not Kwame Ture, Carmichael, you know, they was riders too. Back then, you couldn't separate a tether class to get major political benefits because you were under the thumb of Jim Crow. You see? So y'all can't use that one on us either.
They only look, then y'all turn around saying, oh, get out of our country. Then y'all turn around saying, oh, you see the Haitians, they get in political positions and they only look out for Haitians. How the fuck we getting in political positions in this y'all country, nigga? What the fuck y'all talking about? You niggas is the niggas that everybody be talking about, nigga. Take my hat off for this shit. You niggas the niggas everybody be talking about, nigga. You niggas is the niggas, you know what I'm saying? Y'all the niggas, y'all don't put in no motherfucking, y'all don't put in enough work, nigga. That's y'all problem, nigga. Don't get mad that somebody can't put the work in and lapped you.
They say IT is not safe. But we are here at Okoto, the village side of Okai. We eating good here, bro.
You nigga. This to the FBAs. Don't be mad because we came in and we built shit and you was sitting on your mama, laying on your mama couch, nigga. Because you was on probation for a petty crime and you only made $400.
He's not responsible for all the violence sweeping across Haiti's capital, but be under no doubt he's at the centre of it.
back in the days when Hazel Scott was coming up in the early 1900s, you couldn't really come over and just say, well, those African Americans, those Negroes is what they call them, colored. You couldn't really go under the banner of, well, I'm being white. They tried it. Raphael Lennox broke that down in the Negroes Digest. They tried it. A lot of the Caribbeans were coming into civil rights, in civil rights organizations. They was doing little funny stuff. We got proof of that. Yeah, we got proof of that. You think that stopped? Look at the Congressional Black Caucus. You could see where a lot of them folks from, and you wonder, why are they so anti-reparations and anti-crime bill?
To push forward on reparations. What does this White House believe when it comes to this controversial issue of repairing a wrong for the descendants of Africans in this nation?
So look, as you mentioned, Juneteenth, there was a concert here yesterday, and we saw how powerful and how moved the president was by the concert and by kind of the story that was laid out through the concert about Juneteenth and how important that moment was. Opal, as you know, was here, and it's always moving to hear her and to see her. And as you know, the president signed Juneteenth to be the most recent holiday about 2 years ago. So I think that shows from that action. I'll give you more. I think that shows from that action how important the president thinks this moment is. How important he thinks that it is important to continue to this moment is. How important he thinks that it is important to continue to lift up the African American community, and he'll continue to do so. As it relates to reparations, I saw just moments ago Cori Bush's resolution. We haven't reviewed the proposal yet. It's a new proposal, so we'll take a look at it.
You see what I'm saying? So, you notice, when Pimp C made the distinction, okay, I'm not hip-hop, bet. I'm gonna move my CDs. We gonna put our CDs on that side of the stove, and y'all put y'all CDs on that side of the stove. You say we not hip hop. Okay, you're saying we're not hip hop, right? All right, well, I'm gonna coin my own stuff.
Down here, a long time ago, we had our own music. The street military was putting it down. You know what I'm talking about? And when Willie D and them was coming down and talking country and letting they nuts hang, you know, that Rockwell song or something there was special, and I ain't never looked back on them niggas, you know what I'm saying? Cause if it wasn't for us, them niggas wouldn't have been able to take no Fresh Fest tour. They wouldn't have been able to sell all them goddamn records they sold in the 80s if it wasn't for the South and the Midwest. You motherfucking niggas didn't sell all them records in New York. I know you didn't. And you niggas wouldn't have been able to take no tour if it wasn't for the rest of the country. You know, niggas tried to shit on us, man. You know, me to go down south, need to shut your mouth. You know, I'm talking about shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, y'all ain't real hip-hop down there. Bitch ass nigga, well, guess what? We ain't real hip-hop down here, nigga. Nigga, stay up there where you at. With the fun-ass cars and your fun-ass houses, nigga. You down here having things, nigga. Cost of living good down here in Texas. Nigga, I been driving Cadillacs since I was 15 years old, bitch. Put your mind on your shit. You know what I'm talking about? Willie Bell Reed. Cause I ain't mad at nobody, cause you know what? The real rappers on the East that get money and hate. I just did a song with Big Daddy Kane and Cool G Rap. It's gonna be on the new UUK album. But what I'm saying is, I don't hear the Dipset niggas crying about none of that shit. I don't hear Jay-Z crying. I think that got to do with me until I ain't catching them. But you know who crying? No, them bitch ass niggas that can't sell no records, man. They crying cause they can't sell no records right now. And cause Mike Jones got 15 cars, man, and 22 karat diamond in his ring, man. Get your mind on your shit. You can have some too. You gotta come down here and buy you some, bitch. I'm talking about straight business, man.
Country rap tunes. Church. Country rap tunes. Foundational Freedmen are like, we the country rap tunes now. There's nobody that's come up with that analogy but me. We country rap tunes now. That's how we're looked at as country rap tunes. The stay away from that African American, that Akata, don't bring him to me, that Jareer, that Yankee, all these terms. There's a lot of terms, and a lot of our good immigrant brothers that come from immigrant backgrounds have come out and told us what their parents used to say.
I understand why African Americans kicked Marcus Garvey out of this country during the civil rights movement. I just got into it with my Jamaican mother, who's a naturalized citizen to this country, because she had the nerve to be spewing some coonery bullshit in my freaking ear, and I went all the way off on her bombo clot. Me no care, okay? Me no care. You would not have the mobility that you've got in this country and all of the benefits that you take advantage of in this country if it weren't for Black Americans. You're disrespectful, and I'm going to tell you about yourself. You had the nerve to be like, oh, I became a U.S. citizen because you and your sister were pressuring me to do that. No, you became a U.S. citizen because you wanted a voice in this country and you wanted to vote. But all you've done is bring your cooning for the crown behavior over to the United States, and you refuse to be lumped in with African Americans. Time and time and time again, you talk this coonery bullshit in my fucking ear. And especially right now, during Black History Month, I'm not standing for that shit. Me not around put you, me not care, okay? Because you never should have said that shit to me just now. I've been on this planet for damn near 32 years, and I have had my own fair share of discrimination and hardship because of the color of my skin. Nobody ever asked me, are you Black Caribbean? Are you this? Are you that? They just automatically assume. They look me up and down and they're like, okay, well, you're Black, period, dot. Next. These white people don't give a damn what flavor of Black you are. And I'm sick and tired of Caribbeans, Black Caribbeans, and Black people from foreign lands acting like they're different. You're not different. And you would not be able to move in this country the way you move if it weren't for Black Americans. Have some damn respect. Me don't give no bombo clot that you pushed me out of your pussy almost 32 years ago. I'm gonna tell you off today, because you never should have said that. That shit never should have came out of your mouth. You're so different. Why you want ball and complain about all of the hardship that you face being a Black woman, an immigrant Black woman in this country, if color doesn't matter? And if you really don't align with Black Americans, why the fuck would you turn around and have kids by 2 different Black men if you really don't fuck with us like that? This woman has no idea that she gave birth to her karma. Me no care. Me no care. Okay, and if that's really how you feel, keep that shit over in Jamaica. How about that? How about that? If you don't want to be lumped in with African Americans and you don't want to be in solidarity with African Americans, take your ass back to Jamaica and keep that coonery bullshit over there for the crown. Okay? Okay. Me done shot.
I've been through it before. When I dated this Somali chick. This is not new. This is nationwide. This is in every town, every city that we dealt with. But for somehow the freedmen, we got to be Pan-Africanism is dead, man. They're kicking people out of their homes in you heard what the dude from Nigeria said. It's dead. It's
now wait, we have to pack your goods. We are sending signal for South Africa. We send signal for South Africa.
Oh my goodness. Where was that at?
It was under the
is that what you call bushmeat?
Yes.
We will also begin lawful action to ensure that South African-based businesses in Nigeria are shut down.
I'm begging. No, please don't beg me. She's in an advanced state of pregnancy. It's quite common for pregnant ladies to travel overseas so that they can have the baby in which...
Fucking dead, man. It's done. It's over. The break started, it didn't start with us. It started with folks like, you had the Marcus Garveys. They couldn't get it popping in Jamaica. What'd they do? They came over here. And then we revere that nigga high. We revere Marcus high. Broke my heart to hear that he might have been scamming. What? And Dr. Umar still standing behind that? I don't know. It's not a good look, man. Haiti, you had a one-hit wonder. Dessalines and Vuitton, Louis Vuitton, y'all, that spirit ain't there no more. Because once you fly your flag on a foreign land and try to say that we shouldn't have the American, you Negroes shouldn't use the American flag because that's the oppressor's flag. But you come here where we built it up and made it comfortable for you. You haven't built anything that's comfortable for us. You charge us when we get over somewhere. You hit us with fees and tourists and all that, tourism fees or hey, you know, you want to come on this land, DNA, sign paper. We need a right to abode. We need all kind of garbage to get in.
Did you know that 95% of Black Americans cannot be matched to a specific geographic region in Africa? These were the findings from Ely et al. In 2008, although they used language to intentionally misrepresent their findings. The study examined mtDNA sequences from 74 samples of the Gullah Geechee, as well as 97 African American samples from the Army. The authors compared the Black American samples to a database constructed of nearly 4,000 mtDNA sequences. These sequences represented every region in the continent of Africa, except North Africa, of course. The study found that 38% of the Gullah Geechee samples could not be matched to any sequence in their African database, and 40% of the African American Army samples could also not be matched to any African sequences in their database. However, what the authors frame as a positive finding for their study is actually the smoking gun. This is buried deep in the discussion. Essentially, about 53% of the samples, more than half, match multiple regions in the database. So instead of just matching one single mtDNA sequence, they match several of them. When we're talking about mtDNA, the entire point of analyzing different sequences is that a single mutation creates this new branch. You are tracking a defining set of mutations in order to determine a lineage. Therefore, if the Black American samples are matching multiple different sites, that also means they're not matching the core mutations needed to determine that lineage. So if you're matching multiple, then you are matching none, especially given that different positions, the mutations at different sites, can be found across the globe. The Gullah Geechee are supposed to be the quintessential example of Africans that retain their culture within the United States, yet 91% of that do not match any African lineages. This study is just another case of showing us that these regions in Africa were receivers and not the source.
It should be a DNA test and it should be 100 fucking acres. Y'all don't do that. But we made it comfortable for you. Our ancestors made it comfortable for you. And one thing what people will say, here's another argument I'm gonna debunk. Well, DP, you didn't do shit. Your ancestors did it. Y'all still reap the benefits. Yeah, y'all still get scholarships, and yeah, these programs are tax deductible. This come out of my damn pocket. When y'all show up from these places through asylum or any of that green card, any of that stuff, we pay for that. Y'all getting these special grant programs? Westmore signed a Caribbean Heritage Day or whatever like that. You think folks ain't gonna get no funding out of that? Botham John's old coon-ass family hugging the race soldier and all that type garbage.
You know, when Botham John's brother hugged Amber Geiger, he left just about everyone watching stunned. And now that moment has earned him a prestigious award. Brent John will receive an Ethical Courage Award for the empathy and forgiveness he showed Geiger. Moments after she was sentenced to 10 years for killing his brother Botham, Brent told Geiger he forgives her and asked the judge if he could give her a hug. It touched people all over the world and sparked an entire conversation about when it's okay to forgive.
Yeah, that don't come from our culture. We don't do that.
Deserving students and awarded the school's top performer at the Caribbean Primary Exit Assessment, CPEA. This year, Nick Philogen and Curtalia Thomas received scholarships. The scholarship covers items such as books, uniforms, shoes, and school supplies. Andre Zephyrin, who now attends the St. Mary's College, received...
We don't be doing that in court. They ended up with a big-ass scholarship, only for Caribbeans. And you get mad because we want to move our CDs on the other side of the stove because you said we wasn't hip hop. You ain't African. You ain't hip hop.
My name is Erna Casa, and we're talking about reparations. And what I'd like to know is, we're talking about reparations from those who had colonized us. I want to know, as an African who had been, my ancestors were sent away from Africa. I came back here on my own. I want my reparations. Would you consider my reparations to be that you accept me and those of others who have been away who want to come without you asking us for thousands of dollars? I want to know, will you accept us to come back and give us land, because we come back here because we want to help to build and to work here on this continent. Why do we have to beg when we come back? This is a Why do we have to beg when we come back? This is a reparation that I and many other diasporas would like to have. I thank you.
Thank you.
Looking, I'd like to become a friend at some point in time. I think I have the ability to do it. I can be a friend. And I would like to be a friend despite my loss. That God is good. That's why I make questions. So I appreciate what Brand did.
Word from a dirty black American.
No more. We all build off each other in this shit. You know, it was originally hip hop music.
That's real.
It's where it was derived from, and then it turned into something else down here. It's not hip hop music no more. Cause we don't wear backpacks and we don't catch trains. You know, and I don't do no motherfucking graffiti. I'm not knocking it. I respect what they do up there. Yeah. You know, I got a whole lot of respect for the East Coast and what they did and the forefathers of this shit. Cool Herc, you know, Red Alert. You know I'm talking about? Africa Bambaataa, Cold Crush Brothers. You see, I know my history, man. I'm not like the rest of these niggas. I know my hip hop history. You know, but you know, that ain't what we doing down here. It's a drug culture down here. We ride cars. We ain't riding no trains. Therefore, we don't listen to headphone sets down here, cause we all got cars with bang in the trunk. So the same kind of beats that them niggas like, that they be listening to in the headphones on the train, they ain't the same kind of beats that we like down here. Yeah. You know. We like a different style of music. We want shit to hit hard in the trunk. And them niggas, the real deal is this. They up there starving. They don't have no grass in their yard. And we down here living in many mansions and driving Bentleys, man. I just wrecked a Bentley and parked it in the grass, man. Told the insurance people to come and fix it and bought a brand new red one. Then I called Miami and bought a Phantom. I ain't even got a record out. I just
Pull up to this nigga zero shit. This nigga living like he in Beverly motherfucking Hills. This what we doing? No city Beverly Hills though. You know what I'm saying? This what we doing? Big motherfucker. Motherfucking miser. Oh, this motherfucker. Is ice.
Just come home from the pen. I just did 4 years and I ain't did nothing illegal. Now,
so I'm hearing that the guy who did the live stream with Nicki Minaj, the young guy Kai Cenat, said that Black Americans have no culture. As a Caribbean girl who's born and raised here in the States, as someone who's traveled to 25 plus countries, baby, you was wrong. Guess whose culture, their customs, the way they dress, the way they talk, the way that the music that they made, Like the traditions are copied all over the world. The hairstyles, I mean the looks. Guess who is copied and admired all over the world? Sit down, baby, be humble, because it's not training culture. It's not Haitian culture. It's not South African culture. It's not nobody. It's all black people. Of all the black people, Black American culture is the most popular culture. Please stop.